Give it a preemptive like. Okay then, so you want to learn about the city. Part 1, introduction from D. Mr. Leeds. I do want to learn about the city, so teach me. This is an introduction.
Ooh, my Project Moon drip feed is dried up until Limbus Company comes out. Well, I guess there's no better time than now to get this started.
I like the PNG work.
In this and the coming videos, I will be compiling all the information we know about Project Moon's setting, the city, from across 3 games, 2 webcomics, and a serialized story into something a bit more bite-sized.
I think I've got to read these then, right?
I will be setting out to create a series of easily comprehensible videos starting from the larger, broader terms and information down to the unique details of the city. This series will be chock full of spoilers from every piece of media Project Moon has put out. This is...
Okay. Spoiler warning. We'll have to... What are the spoilers we're getting here? Are we getting insane story spoilers for the game here? So anybody who's watched this, like, I'd rather not go in if we're not going to get major... If it's potentially like spoilers from the other games, I could deal with that. But if we're getting major game spoilers here, I don't want game spoilers. The spoilers aren't folks on Limbus. Okay, great. Okay then. Okay, we can continue. I do want to learn more about the city because it's a fascinating place when you get there, right? For previous games. Okay, because like the first Kanto, it feels like a horrendous place. Still kind of does in Kanto 2 actually, but it's just like such an intriguing place. I'm so interested to learn more. As long as it's all before Limbus, then we're good to go. All right, let's continue. Let's continue.
In some of the details someone might have missed while playing the Botany Corporation or Library of Arena.
Okay.
Or for those who just started playing Limbus Company and wanted to get up to speed ASAP.
Okay,
I
cool.
highly recommend
Perfect.
going and consuming the other Project Moon media before watching these videos if you haven't already. Since we learn more and more about the city each time Project Moon puts out a new morsel, information in these videos is bound to be incomplete and filled in at later dates. In the meantime, let this serve as a good starting point. Finishing up the preamble for the uninitiated, the city is a dystopian setting in an as of yet undisclosed world. Hedonism, death, and brutality are all common in the city. People kill and steal to get any kind of leg up on each other.
Kind of sounds like Birmingham. Sounds a little bit like Birmingham, to be fair, you know? So, okay, maybe I would be at home here. I might actually be at home here.
Neighbors will sell out their savior if it means they will get a chance at living a better life. The rich will torture the poor for their own amusement. Wealth is everything in this city. Without wealth, you are nothing. Disease has been cured in the city, but if you can't afford the treatment, oops, so sorry, try being rich. There is no real centralized police force in the city. Instead, people must hire out local mercenaries in order to stay safe from the dangers the city presents. The city consists of a near continent...
I suppose, again, because one thing I've started to get, capitalism's a big thing that's a topic and a theme of this, right? I suppose that leans into that, right? Because when you think about it, a police force is a social system, right? And if you're going to lean into that super heavy, like the capitalist dystopia, then why would you want someone like that when it's there for the people who can afford it, right? And, you know, the true capitalist way, if you will.
Landmass, which is made up of 25 districts which act like countries.
Birmingham is backstreets and T-Corp districts.
Customs, culture, and quirks. As a whole, it's overseen by the head, a ringleader government which oversees all 25 districts.
Okay.
While we have been shown very little of the world outside the city, we do know that it exists by proof of the outskirts, which at the time of writing this are anything outside of the walls of the city. They are known to be extremely dangerous and often not worth the risk of exploring. Inhabited by old world remnants, monsters, and those exiled from the city.
Old world remnants. So I've heard there's a train that goes around the city, but people don't really know what the deal is with that, right? Or the train tracks, or my trip in there. Old world remnants. Ooh, I'm even more intrigued now. The fuck's going on everywhere else then?
In a map drawn by Ezra in Distortion Detective, it is shown that the districts are situated next to a body of water to the southeast, but there is a large amount of untouched and possibly unknown land in the other directions. On this map, we can see an outer area separate from the districts, but still within the walls of the city, denoting the outskirts. The head is responsible for the rules that span across the entirety of the city. Even though each district is the size of a European country, think of their relation to the head as the states to the United States, responding to federal
so
laws.
it's that big.
And the head is all three branches. They are responsible for the sweeping laws, such as gun limitations, via the idea that killing another human should not be trivial or insignificant, thus limiting their size and firepower. Another one is the AI Ethics Amendment, which states that non-humans must be evicted and robot bodies can't resemble humans too closely or face penalty of destruction. And the clone...
Interesting. So why is that? Is that potentially reason why where we're at then? Because of AI? Because I just think of stuff like Warhammer and stuff then, like, you know, because the machine's turning on us. Interesting. Okay.
Laws
and they can't look too like humans.
No clone being can exist alongside the original for more than 7 days. And worst of all, everyone must pay taxes. More laws are likely to be in effect, but these are the ones we have to work with at the moment.
That's relatable. That's relatable.
Head, aside from being the dictating voice of the city, also has a few branches for observing, judging, and enacting their punishments. Okay. Arbiters act as a judge and jury when it comes to investigating and deeming one's innocence or guilt. The eye is the intelligence gathering force. Those known as beholders are seen being able to see past barriers that would normally keep scrying eyes out. Claws are overseen by arbiters, but they are the killing force of the head. They will seek out those the head is deemed as an enemy and eliminate them with extreme prejudice. Below the head, each district is ruled over by a mega corporation known as a wing. The wing in charge of each district is given a designation of A through Y.
Okay, sorry to keep pausing. I'm super interested in this fucking universe now. Like, holy cow. This is right up my alley. I'm definitely getting more and more invested. Like, obviously, the more I play the game, I'm getting more invested. I've got super invested now from the music, and now the lore as well is kind of yoinking me in even deeper as well. We have really got to have a good spree of just bashing out Limbus, man. We really have.
Promotional material for Limbus Corporation details the districts and their respective ruling wing. There can only be one current lettered corporation for each district, but that does not mean that the corporations currently in power have always been there. If a wing falls out of favor with the head, is destroyed, or is otherwise removed by other means, a new company can apply to the head for the status of that district's wing.
Okay.
Under the watch of the wing is the nest, a safe haven for the denizens of the city to live in, away from most greater evils. Direct employees of the wing, known as feathers, live in the nest, but they are not the sole inhabitants. You can buy your way into living in the nest, but it is damn expensive. Attacking a feather is a good way to make sure people will come and take care of you. Here, employees live a relatively safe life, physically located from the neglected parts of each district known as the backstreets. Each district has a different method of keeping out unwanted filth, but one thing is clear: the wing doesn't want them mucking about. However, if a backstreet denizen is motivated enough, they can find their way into the nest. In contrast, the feathers are motivated to do a good job, as otherwise they will be kicked to the backstreets. Though, that's not to say people can't live a relatively safe life in the backstreets. It's hard at times to get a full picture of just how normal, by our standards, life in the city can be. There are those that claim a normal life is possible, and there are various social and economic classes throughout the city, leaving it not too far off from the real world.
Okay, so there is people actually going by somewhat of a pleasant experience, potentially.
The currency is on, and earning about 4 million on a month is considered upper middle class, as denoted by one of the residents' books. We can assume this means being able to live in much less worry of danger than the other residents. We do have a piece from Project Moon showcasing some characters going on a nice date at a restaurant, and have gotten several photos of a street view from Limbus Company. In contrast to the list of sweeping laws.
Okay, so there is nice places then, right? It's just that if you ain't got the cash, you're fucked, basically.
As the head put in force earlier, nights in the
backstreets are lawless. We smoke war.
Between the times of 0313 and 0434, anyone is allowed to commit terrible acts at night. If this mini purge wasn't confusing enough.
Okay, so it just kind of like the purge, yeah.
It is forbidden to record or spy on those in the streets at this time. Unless you are an eyewitness to something, investigating what happens at night will see you dealt with instead.
Damn.
And if that wasn't worse enough, individuals known as sweepers come out in droves to clean up all the corpses and items left in the streets. So you have a lawless time, but a few stipulations under penalty of death. Is the city sounding like a nice vacation spot yet? Other various...
Still kind of sounds like Birmingham. fucking say?
Perks of the backstreet include being so utterly dangerous that students who take alleys to get to school will carry weapons for protection. Many will opt for online schools instead. Cannibalism isn't just not unheard of, it's not uncommon.
Oh,
Hell,
okay.
District 23's backstreets have normalized the practice, dubbing it the streets of flavor. All wings have what is known as a singularity. A singularity is patented technology that often breaks the laws of physics as we would normally know them. Some include the ability to lock or unlock anything, even conceptual ideas such as the mind, while others allow the limitless collection of energy. Wings may only answer to the head when it comes to the ruling of their districts, but they often will form alliances with each other.
I'm interested to see how that's explored, like this idea of locking conceptions and ideas and stuff, right?
If it proves beneficial. In the past, we have seen alliances of combat nature, but predominantly we've seen companies sell singularities to each other for the use. Lobotomy Corporation, a previous iteration of the wing that oversaw District 12, used the singularities of R Corp, T Corp, and W Corp in exchange for energy Lobotomy Corp would produce. As one could guess, singularities are worth more than their weight in gold. Worth more than their weight in human lives is probably a better comparison. Whole wars are declared over valuable technologies like singularities. At this time, we do not know every single singularity of all 26 current wings, but we do know most of them. Before I go into detail about the wings, I should explain one more large sector of power within the city, known as the Five Fingers.
Okay, so, question. This city's the setting of all the games, correct? Is it? Is the trilogy of games all happens within the walls of this city? Does it? It does. Interesting. Okay, that's really cool then that, like, there's been 3 games set within the walls of this city and we still don't know the entirety of the city or even, like, the surrounding area or even what the hell's going on in the rest of the world. And that's building up to something, right? Surely? That's really cool.
These are the 5 most powerful criminal syndicates that rival the power of wings in terms of manpower and sway. Even the head has had issue dealing with them as they spread across the city. As their name would imply, the 5 fingers are made up of the thumb, the index, the middle, the ring, and the pinky. So far we have been shown the thumb, index, and middle, with hints at the others. Each has their own quirk, but I will get back to them in a later video.
Okay.
That should act as a cursory introduction to the world.
Ruin is a Silmarillion of P-Moon. Okay.
Further videos will explore the concepts and terms introduced here in greater detail. Hell, if you wanted to jump into the series, now would be a great time as you would have a much easier time understanding the background context of Lobotomy Corporation and Library of Arena. The next video will be going over wings present and past before going over their singularities. Thank you for sitting through this entire video. I hope you stay tuned for the rest of the series. Ciao.
Yeah, dude, the universe, incredibly intriguing. I am and I'm sure there's a lot of people like this, right? I'm an enjoyer of 2 different types of ways of going around world building. I love the type of setting up of a world of sort of something like that you're getting in Tolkien, where although there is a lot left to mystery as well, but you get a historical lineage of things that have happened from the conception of the universe, to the song of God himself and the following beings and the angels and everything else that follows into creating the world, and then all of the histories and wars, and so much is like depicted and written down. So you've got like this categorical like history and exploration of the world. And then I also do like that sort of world building where you've got that like a lot of stuff's just left for you to discover, or maybe never to discover, where like, you know what, we're just never going to explain this. That's up to you to interpret and try to figure out kind of thing. I love both sides because if done well, they can both create incredibly interesting worlds, right? Because on the one side, you can have this world with all its geopolitics, its history, and you can build infinite amount of stories out of all of this tapestry that is a history, right? And then you've got this other kind of world building where it's like, it's all like intrigue and things left up to you. Well, actually, what the fuck is out there? What is beyond that thing? Maybe you find out, maybe you never do. So yeah, I really like the idea that after 3 games, you still haven't even explored the entirety of the city, and you don't know what the fuck's going on outside. Outside the city, there's also 3 birds in a forest. What does that mean, though? What does that mean? Are we talking like literally just 3 normal birds in a forest, or is it a little bit more abstract than that? What are we talking about there? There is more to learn. Don't worry about it. Well, that I'm happy about. It's all good stuff. Yeah. Yeah, there's different ways to do world building. Right? All right, let's get straight into part 2 then, shall we? So we've done part 1, learning about the city, the introduction. I'm incredibly intrigued. So let's learn a little bit more about the city then, shall we? Because this time we've got wings, districts, and singularities. I'm interested to learn a little bit more about these singularities as well. Let's get into it then, man. D, Mr. Leeds. We're going to hit a like. We're going to subscribe as well, because this guy seems like he makes good videos, man. Let's go on.
Welcome back, everyone, to part 2 of the
Yeah, totally 3 normal birds. Okay. With what I've seen of this game so far, I can assume that's probably something crazy then. Okay.
Series. In this chapter, we'll go over the many wings we currently know about, their singularities, and some quirks we know about their district.
To be fair, we have travelled outside the city in every game, lobotomy with backstories, but still. Okay. But like, it's just left a lot up to, you just don't know what's going on. It's more of a first person, a point of view perspective, right? Because you can do that as well, right? You can introduce things that you don't know about in stories, right? Especially in writing and games and any sort of whatever. Just show it from that POV, and it's just like, well, I still don't know what the fuck's going on. Actually, I'm even more confused than I was before, almost, if that makes sense. All right, let's continue.
I'll also be discussing what we currently know about Limbus Company towards the end, so stay tuned or skip ahead to hear for that. There are so many holes in our working knowledge base right now, but I'm going to categorize what we have anyway. There is a quick aside I'll start with before getting to the list. A Corp is directly operated by the head. However, they use products of B Corp and C Corp directly within their forces, making these 3 companies very tightly knit.
Okay.
The head was founded after Wings came into power, as far as we know. For the purposes of this video, the products of B and C Corp are considered to be their primary product, as it goes along with the naming convention we have thus far. However, there is no concrete info regarding which company they directly work for. A Corp, District 1, and Arbiters. Run directly by the head, they act primarily as a patent enforcement agency. The product of A Corp, Arbiters, show capabilities.
A patent enforcement agency. Okay, that's crazy. I like it though.
That are beyond anything we have seen among the vast majority of human limits at this point. It is unclear if they even are human by our own standards anymore. But the head allows them to exist, so they must be, right? Not much is known of their wider capabilities or what makes an arbiter an arbiter. Shown to be singularity infused, we are not quite sure what that singularity or singularities entail.
Oh, they're infused with singularities. Okay. What? But they're capable of some insane shit then, right?
Expert handling of F and J Corp singularities. Fairies, gravity manipulation, and locks as offensive tools as well, as telekinetically maneuvering massive pillars around with little to no effort. They are seen as the pinnacle of strength throughout the city.
Makes sense, because I guess they could just create gravity wells at will, right?
Even colored fixers feared their presence. Much of their deadliness comes from their cunning rather than their brute strength, but they are certainly no slouch when it comes to combat. Being able to decimate hundreds, if not thousands, without breaking a sweat.
Is that just somebody's intestines there? Is that somebody just got gibbed?
B Corp, District 2, Beholders. Directly run by the eye, Beholders are a piece of the trifecta we know the least about when it comes to the head. Shown as a simmer of a human silhouette, we know that they can scry over vast distances. As the intelligence gathering branch, we have not seen much of their capabilities thus far.
Okay.
They potentially control the ability to teleport others where they need to go. One piece of concrete info we have is that they are known to pursue those that have failed to pay taxes and coordinate with claws to eliminate them.
Makes sense that the taxman looks like that. Eyes everywhere. Eyes everywhere. Yeah, that's common. It was Tuesday. Yeah, that makes sense that that's a taxman then. Okay. Relatable.
District 3, Claws. Directly run by the Claw, the muscle of the head. The Claw is known as the name of the branch, as well as its members are known as Claws.
Okay.
Very confusing, I know. Imposing members
Beholders on the IRS
can carry a massive claw in their hand to shred apart those the head has deemed as an enemy. They have several canisters attached to their bodies that contain serums which they can inject into their body to perform utterly superhuman feats.
Oh, okay.
Serum K, R, and W denote based on their abilities that they have some connection to their respective wing. This, however, is unconfirmed. Claws are also known to frequently deal with those that break patents. D Corp.
So we've got superhumans dealing with pattern breaking. Okay. All right. Damn.
District 4. Currently, all we know is that
just
some
hyped
form
out
of
their
calamity
mind.
has befallen this district. E Corp. District 5. Currently, do not possess any info on this wing and its district.
I don't know if that's changed
F
by
Corp.
now.
District 6. Fairies.
Fairies.
A gold light that has the properties of unlocking anything that is considered locked. This can either be a physical lock or a conceptual lock like a repressed memory. Apparently, F Corp tried to branch out their technology for other applications, but failed to pass any useful results because L Corp.
I like this sort of like abstract conceptualism within the game. Like, you know, like they can unlock any physical thing, but also conceptual locks. And that's fucking actually really cool. It's one of those things though, like when I think it's like, man, it takes some good writing to pull all that stuff together, which again, as I've heard, this is where Limbus really excel. And so far, I must admit the writing and my experience of the writing has been really, really good.
Hamstrung their energy supply. G Corp. District 7. Gravity. G Corp singularities are used to control weight of an object. The most concrete example we have comes from Distortion Detective, where Ezra uses a weapon from Namir
Oh, I love her design.
Workshop to change the weight of her weapon to deal a destructive blow just before impact.
The Mass Effect division.
The object itself is a sphere that can be used to increase or decrease gravity. H Corp. District 8. All we know at the moment is that they like apples and Christmas, so Santa canonically exists as a concept in the city. I Corp. District 9. Currently unknown. A relatively safe backstreet until the pianist killed roughly 80% of the backstreet's residential area. More on them later. They had promised fixers who participated.
Bro, just lighting fire to that piano right there, right? Spamming that shit. That fucking imagery is fucking really cool, man. It's one of the artwork for this game as well. I love the aesthetic and the style of this game as well. It really fits a lot of the themes that we've seen so far, right?
In the Smoke War, the ability to move into their nest afterwards, but fell back on the claim. Now the district ruled by I Corp has a reputation as an important place for musicians looking to replicate the pianist's sound.
Okay.
J Corp. District 10. Locking. Their nest is known far and wide as a gambling den for those that can get in. Many J Corp employees spend their time at work looking at screens to try and catch people cheating. Hundreds of calls to looking at people cheating in the most pedantic way clog up their lines, leading to those on the call lines to be extremely fatigued. According to a fixer within the nest, people rely on a special entity to predict major life events for them in the coming year and gain insight on more immediate matters. Their singularity can lock and seal anything that is open or exposed on a conceptual level. It can also be used to stop someone from speaking about specific information, marking them with a brand on the back of their neck. Other applications can be used to simply lock containers, but is also known to seal
the opposite of the other
body,
district.
preventing autopsy after they die. K Corp. District 11. Nanomachinery. But they do own multiple singularities. Apparently one of the more decent nests also fell back on their promise to Smoke War veterans. A location of Quercus Village.
Oh, is that the war that we see when we're seeing all the body horror stuff as well? We're seeing that conflict in Canto 1. Is that the Smoke War that's being referenced there, is it? By the way, the piano man literally turns everyone into music notes. That's cool. It'd be hard to set up by the piano made of melted bones building flash metal and anything that was around. Yeah, okay. Christmas was probably stripped of all meaning in the city, considering people say, oh my wings, instead of oh my god. That's cool. Greg's a vet, yeah. Okay.
Where they would siphon their distortions until Moses' office was sent to kill them. Their nanomachinery is seen at work in HP-N bullets, which repairs the body of anyone struck. R Corp's reindeer team is also known to use the singularity to protect their own sanity. L Corp. District 12. Defunct as of now. The first of the L-based wings that we know that claimed the title of L Corp was the catalyst for the Smoke War. smoke being a byproduct of their energy gathering method. Following their demise, Lobotomy Corporation took their spot, having been the masterminds behind the war, with the intention of taking the previous predecessor's place as a wing. After the events of White Night and Dark Day, Lobotomy Corporation is no more, as their nest has fallen into utter depravity, with many factions vying for power. Everything we know about L Corp could be a video in and of itself, so for brevity's sake, know that the most recent L Corp, Lobotomy Corporation, had two singularities. One that allowed L Corp to extract enkephalin, a substance with two varieties, and cogito. Enkephalin can be used as a fuel across multiple devices, or it can be abused as a hallucinatory drug. It comes in both liquid or gas form. Cogito
That's the stuff that is it what we change our energy into to save for farming? Right? I think so, yeah.
It was the basis for the Seed of Light project, and is the reason Gary and a few claws went to dispatch Lobotomy Corporation using intel they had from a mole in the company. Lobotomy Corporation and their cast has been the primary focus of both the titular game of the same name and Library of Ruina. Much has changed in the city due to their actions.
Yo, what's up, Jamie?
Corp, District 13, Moonlight Stones. The most important thing you must know about District 13 is that it is the origin of Ham Ham Pang Pang, the most important sandwich shop in the city.
Ham Ham Pang Pang?
Singularity is Moonlight Stones, small stones that emit a golden shimmer and are used to mitigate or nullify psychological damage from mental attacks or from witnessing something traumatic. Apparently, they function by amplifying a single thought or process in the mind and fortifying a barrier around the mind. They can be applied to clothing as well, as shown by the Leo Association, but they are used by other fixers and syndicates too.
They look kind of cool.
District 14, Unknown. Moses' office is located here, and we don't have much info, but we do know that they have a taboo of absolutely no recording, video, or audio in their backstreets. We are introduced to the concept of taboo hunters, which are fixers that are hired by the wing to retrieve those that have broken their rules and deliver them to the wing. Those that are captured are never heard from again, even by the hunters who send them to the wing. It is unknown how they...
It does seem like you can get away with some shit in this world as long as it's not stepping on another corporation's toes, breaking patents, or avoiding paying your fair dues, right? And then, you know, you're kind of left to your own devices, if you will.
Tell if someone has broken a taboo. Side note, all of the buildings here are painted pure white.
Okay.
O Corp, District 15.
Just to fuck with people's minds.
All we currently know is that there was an event that when the wings' feathers had suffered enough stress, they began ballooning in sides, causing their heads to explode.
What
Call
the
center
fuck?
clerk suffered the greatest...
Hold up. What?
All we currently know is that there was an event that when the wings' feathers had suffered enough stress, they began to ballooning in sides, causing their heads to explode. Call center clerk suffered the greatest from this phenomenon, later classified as the balloon people distortion. P Corp, District 16.
Sounds horrific.
Possibly food preservation. More on this later. Q Corp, District 17. Unknown, but it is where Roland is from, and apparently a pretty decent place. R Corp, District 18. Replication. A highly militaristic organization. The 4th Pack, an unruly but extremely useful band of soldiers in the employ of R Corp, work here. The 4th Pack's teams are also known to be named after animals that start with R. Known to explore the outskirts and ruins in search of... something.
Okay.
Most likely old world relics that they can use or sell.
Ooh. It just makes me think of like the Brotherhood of Steel, or even like the Imperium of Man, sorry. Looking for those old world relics.
Soldiers are extremely skilled and easily replaceable through their means of the singularity.
What the fuck happened to the old world then?
Soldiers that pass away can be recreated numerous times and are pitted in a battle to the death to produce the strongest survivor possible in the end. The whole process is made possible using T-Corp Singularity to dilute several months into a fraction of that time. This process, through their hatcheries, allows them to bypass the head 7-day policy on clones, but it also takes an inordinate amount of energy. S-Corp, District 19, Unknown. All we have to go on at the moment is that they are connected to the Great Lake to the southeast, and apparently does a lot of fishing. Yeehaw. T-Corp.
That's a lake. It's going to be massive then, right? Because he called it a lake there. We said body of water before, but he's saying a lake now. Didn't he say these wings are like the size of European countries? That's a big-ass lake.
District 20, Time Track. A wing with the singularity that has the capability to preserve the present by binding time. TT2 protocol is their primary application of this, as we have been shown so far. Allows time that passes within a confined space to move at a much faster speed compared to the outside world. The most extreme example of this, where thousands upon thousands of years were condensed into roughly 10 years for the rest of the city. Working with—
Oh shit. Is that something they use for the trains as well? Because I heard about the trains where, like, there's trains that you get on the trains, right? But, like, potentially thousands of years pass by for the people on the trains to the point where they go insane. They literally get to the destination in hardly any time at all.
With W Corp's warp trains, they collect time for their impossibly long voyages across dimensions. Another example of more everyday uses are pod-second stew meat that would usually take 3 days in 10 seconds, and an assassin—
Oh shit, super microwave. Let's go.
Device that can subject a target's brain to years of solitary confinement, almost instantly.
Oh, that's
driving
fucked
most
up.
individuals insane.
Dude, that's fucked up. That a mental torture that you could put on somebody, like, and potentially for, like, you know, if you was trying to get information out of them, which I know you can unlock stuff conceptually and all that sort of stuff as well, but, like, you could just be, like, in the interview room with somebody, hold up a second, let's give him 10 years of solitary confinement, let's fucking mind-fuck him, and then we'll deal with it afterwards. Like, what the fuck? Maybe not 10 years. We'll give him a couple of weeks first. We don't want to break him totally. We need some answers.
U Corp, District 21. Stasis preservation boxes. Primarily shown off in Distortion Detective, where a severed arm was placed inside to halt it from decaying. It is known to be used for food or injured people as well. The boxes stop time from moving, acting as a perfect freezer and keeping the objects stored in them from decaying. V Corp, District 22. Unknown. The Thousand Needles phenomenon was investigated by Dawn Office here, before eventually being the site where crying children distortion killed 80,000 people. This led to their nest requiring an investigation by the Leo Association, hired by V Corp. W Corp, District 23. Restoring to a previous state. While their outward product is the warp train, that is actually just the
okay.
old company
These guys are the ones that deal with the warp train.
Bought the rights to. They utilize so many singularities to make their systems go, but they're also extremely paranoid about their secret getting out. Their actual singularity is the ability to restore something to a saved state.
Okay, yeah.
When things inevitably go awry on their warp trains, they reset everyone on the train to the status they were before the train took off. Employees are sent inside to scoop up everyone's bloody mess, separate them by genome, and reset them back into that person. Conversations will pick up where they left off with only a few known side effects. People feel a bit foggy after the process, and people can come out with negligible to barely noticeable differences in their height and weight. Their secret is—
Okay. What the fuck? Yo, I'm like 2 inches shorter after I got— well, that's negligible, but you know, that's more than negligible, sorry. You know, that's crazy. They actually go and separate them and separate the soup that's left behind. What the fuck, bro?
so closely guarded, they prefer to kill employees who quit. X Corp, District.
Shit. Okay. So you're there for life then, pretty much.
24. Unknown. Y Corp, District 25.
Hey, 2 inches a lot. Matters where the last 2 inches are. True. True, actually. True. Yeah. Yeah, that is actually a good point there, boys. Good point. Good point. You know, in the wrong place, that could be life-altering.
Unknown. All we know is that they have high-quality Pajan here, and the climate is quite cold, which makes sense for how far north it is. Z Corp, District 26. Unknown. We don't even know where it is. It is theorized to be out in a remote location, or under the city to some capacity. We do know that it exists through numerous mentions of 26 wings. There are a few more things that fall under this series that I should elaborate on before ending this video. Some of these are just footnotes that we have gathered so far, or our speculation off clues that we have come across the series. H Corp. Not known if it was a wing or not, but we do know that it was destroyed by the Arbiter Garion before the events of Lobotomy Corporation.
Okay, well, the entire wing.
P Company. Possibly the P Wing, but it is unsure. Shelter from the 27th of March references P Company. It is unknown if this is a translation error, but either way, we do not have enough info as of yet to confirm if they are a wing. There was also a wing known for making tattoos able to augment one's abilities. Confirmed to have fallen after the patent expired, another fallen nest is one responsible for human silk, a material made from a person that can transfer the original person's abilities to the wearer of the garments made with human silk. Finally, we know that yeast...
That is such a cool idea. Fucked up. That is actually cool. Oh, is it the wing in terms of the person, was it? Hezarus. So, damn, that's fucking dope, that is. Making silk out of a person that somebody can wear to gain their abilities. That's fucking cool, man. I really like that.
Sang, a sinner in Limbus Company, was a researcher at an unknown wing. Speaking of Limbus Company, they are a company that deploys sinners to enter and retrieve valuable items from abandoned Lobotomy Corporation facilities within nests. Based on what we know so far, their primary goal is to retrieve items known as golden bows. These bows resonate with sinners and allow one to explore the depths of their ego. Virgil acts as a guide for the company, alongside Dante, to help sinners go about their missions.
Dante.
Project Moon is full of allusions and parallels to all kinds of stories in their media. The Limbus Company also shows use of the ability to borrow an identity from someone else in an endless sea of alternate realities. They use a singularity from a redacted wing to use the ego equipment the company provides. The sinners use both of these tools to exponentially increase their strength. However, it is not permanent. Faust, one of the sinners, developed the engine for the company's bus, Mephistopheles. Last thing I should mention is the Smoke Wars, since I've alluded to them a few times so far. Originally conceived as a plan from the heads of Lobotomy Corporation to pit several wings against the current L Corp, which was a very stingy energy company that produced loads of smoke as a byproduct. With the combined efforts of several wings, fixers, and such, the original L Corp was deposed and Lobotomy Corporation stepped in to fill the role as that district's wing. That should cover it for this video. Lots of holes to fill as time moves
the
on,
artworks
but it's good
cool.
info to have regardless. Next video will be on the fixers and their associations along.
Ooh, I can't wait to check out the other videos. Honestly though, this is just, we've got to get into the game now because I'm really, really intrigued about this world. It is a fucking cool creation, right? As I saw somebody say that like Ark Knights is a warm and cozy place in comparison. Kind of. Like, don't get me wrong, there's some messed up stuff, and if you're infected and you're living in the wrong place, not a good experience or existence for you, right? Can be truly horrific for some, but yeah, this is like, you can see why with the ideas of Dante's Inferno and stuff and that, because it's like, fuck, there's a there's a lot of shit, man. Really cool though. Again, even though I've only just started playing the game, now I'm learning more about it. I'm just so intrigued. What happened? Why is the world like it is? Why is the city left standing? What's on the outside? What are these relics? I'm so intrigued, man. I can't wait. But yeah, guys, great video by D Mr. Leeds. Go check him out. This is a good one, man. I learned some cool stuff there. Some cool stuff. All right, we'll watch the other two another time because I want to jump into the game. I want to jump into the game now.